Hello, YouTube. Just making this video kinda because I felt like it needed to be said. But GTA 5's latest DLC is a dog shit. The fact they thought that they felt the need to add in yet another heist, which is really, in my opinion, ineffective way at making money. Is ridiculous to me. The changes to the LS customs, so that when you sell vehicles, now they're coming up for like way far less than the original refund was. Attacking the player base for stuff that a subsection of the player base was doing, and changing a fundamental aspect of the game in order to curb your garbage monetization schemes from being tilted by the player base is, as low as it goes. And especially in preparation when you're months away from launching your newest IP. Or, I mean, not really IP, it's not new, but I'm saying, like, newest entry to that pre-existing IP is what I mean. The reason why I think that the DLC sucks ass is because they basically backtracked from what I felt were really good additions to the game, like the salvage yard providing a huge amount of passive income, and same with the nightclub. The way those businesses work, and the agency. I have to throw in the agency, the acid lab. There's a couple of businesses in the game that I think are absolutely amazing and are really pro player, and actually makes it so you can play the game and enjoy the way the economy works inside that game. Well, all of the grinding that I ever did on that game, which they want you to do, was doing any of those couple of businesses. The things I thought were really not worth your time and really worth way too much effort were stuff like the auto shop, the prison break heist, all of the original heists I didn't like. The only reason why we played pack standard is because there was some sort of exploit that allowed you to get away without having the bags get shot and get the entire cut, and you could rotate it so that each and every person gets $1 million. Back in the day, that's how it was,
Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all back.
What am I saying here? I don't script my videos, and it's because I'm lazy and don't care to do it, and don't really want to hit a huge audience. But every now and then I'd like to have a viral video or something that gets a lot of views, because I feel like it, would enhance the experience of being alive a little bit, to have people vibing with what I have to say. But so here we go. Other anti-player businesses, let me think. I didn't like the way they did MC businesses. I really felt like it was way too much of a time investment compared to what you get out of it. The fact that they forced you to have to rely on other players to make money as a model so that they can encouragement of griefing on top of that, so that they could really kind of penny pinch you and nickel and dime you as much as possible, was the major reason why people do duplication glitches and stuff like that. There's a subsect of the community that really believes in playing the game fair and not glitching for your money. And then there's the people like me who said, fuck that, we're going to take advantage of every single one of those glitches that works well. So, how I made my riches was, there was stuff like you could fill a garage with Karen Rebels, and somebody made a custom job that allowed you to change it. There was one involving the Fleeka job. You had to do the Karuma part, and if you did having the people wanted the Fleeca heist so that they could do this one mission, so they
Operator,
could fill their
Otis has
garage
determined the secrets to
with
happiness.
duplicates
A combination of
using
heightened
the Fleeca heist.
dopamine
So that was
levels
actually
and
pretty
a
funny that
terrible
one came out.
memory. You're
When the auto shop
welcome!
dropped, there was a massive glitch that I had 90 duplicates from, 90 to 100 duplicates. So we're talking like 90 to 100 million dollars on the line here. And you know what? I didn't get through selling all of them before they all depreciated. One day I just went to sell the vehicle and it went down from like 1.2 million to 30K. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh yeah, of course they found some way to stop my egregious theft, but it's all based off of a corruption in the model, issues with the way they make money in general with cash cards, and Take-Two and Interactive. So everybody blames Rockstar for the changes that they implement, but nobody really realizes that the reason they're doing it is because their bosses at Take-Two are telling them to do this shit. But that's besides the point. Why I don't like the heist. It's too unnecessarily hard. The fact that they still have this mechanic where you can lose the take by getting shot is fucking ridiculous, and the fact that it bleeds you so quick, like, it would be cool, like, if you're gonna add stuff that feels like realism, have it not negatively affect you in such a humongous way. Like, that was one of the reasons why I thought heists are just such a fucking waste, because you can spend all your time setting this shit up, getting blown up while you're trying to do the setup missions, because they're like, oh, you need to do it in public so that people can blow you up while you're doing the missions. Stuff like that. Decisions that are very anti-player are something that Take-Two takes their pride and joy in, and it never really felt like we got a whole lot of support or like a whole lot of, oh, be nice to the players. If your game is genuinely fun and you're constantly nice to your players, people will spend more money because they'll think, "Hey, now I actually want to support this company for being such nice people and it's such a great product. They always care about me. They always treat me right and stuff like that." And in some circumstances, they did. I mean, I did play some of the game fairly. Like, I didn't always, there wasn't always a dupe around, and when there wasn't, you actually had to play the game and grind it how you're supposed to. So that's what I did. When they gave me stuff like the Acid Lab, and then they gave me a whole week where it was worth double, something in my head clicked that it's all rigged, because they can very much allow you to get realistic takes. They could let you get super wealthy, and not rely on cash cards as their main form of monetization. They could, if money wasn't the directly tied way that they make their money in the online element, and they did it through some other thing, like maybe you have to pay a subscription to access exclusive cars that you wouldn't otherwise get. I mean, look, there's an entire community of people who merge cars, and they do like things that you normally can't put on the car. They make it so you get vehicles like that, and vehicles that look strange, like not even like how they originally came out. Like, I saw somebody driving around what was called the Swinger in the game, but their version of it was all on pipes. Like, the entire body of the car looked like it was made out of pipes, like it was a skeleton and not actually like a standard body thing. It was very heavily modified, and I saw that thing and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like bright pink and chrome. It was like bright pink chrome. Like, that was it was the chrome effect, but it was bright pink. It was gorgeous. I was like, that thing is amazing. And I could never catch up to him, but it looked like just the coolest thing ever to me. And I was like, you can't do that with a standard Swinger. Like, the way he's got it set up is impossible to achieve normally. And so that got me thinking, if they could find some other way to monetize in a way that is both pro player and isn't directly tied to the money element, so that you can actually feel really wealthy really quick. What are you doing? My cat's doing some weird shit. But yeah, just in general, that's kind of how I feel. I feel like a lot of the times out of 10, Take-Two and Rockstar in general are very fond of doing whatever drives quick sales. Like, we're forcing you to have to spend your money on stuff, or we really need to aggressively monetize our player base in a very negative way. That is this heist is very much that. I mean, it's just, it feels like they sort of slapped it together last minute as a sort of farewell, and then on top of that, then they did a horrible change where they introduced diminishing returns, and golly gee, trying to nickel and dime your audience when the game's about to die like that is just a terrible send off. And the fact that I still get invites to this day to play this game, when now that I'm so wealthy, I see like what it's like to be at the top where you have everything you want and you're like an ultra wealthy criminal. Well, the game is dreadfully boring because there's really little to do. I mean, you can't go in the buildings. There's not much you can do other than like golf, tennis. You could maybe fly a plane up and jump out of it, but after 13 years, like, it's kind of exhaustive. Like, what do you do? Just drive your cars around and fly your plane around, and that's it? And maybe kill some players? That's about it, really. I don't see people doing much else. Like, they're just either driving their car and just, they've gone mind-numbingly mind poo. Like, how's that entertaining? After 30 minutes of driving around Los Santos, I'm like, I've had my fill. I've done it all. I've seen all this stuff. But, there's only so many taxis I can take and attach sticky bombs to and drive to the airport and get out of it into a crowd of people and blow it up and become a domestic terrorist. I mean, there's only much stuff I can do before it gets to be, like, tiresome. Like, there's only so many. I'm gonna challenge the cops at a 5-star for hours on end because that's how good I am. That you can do before you just get bored of it, And I think that's really it. I mean, it just doesn't feel like you can do a whole lot. There's activities, there's custom jobs and stuff, but I want the world to be more immersive. Like, you can't go inside any of the buildings. You don't have any interiors. You can't go inside a hotel and walk around the lobby and go up floor after floor and stuff. Like, they had really nice interiors and things that you could do and see in Metal Gear Phantom Pain. Like, that game was incredible with the way they did everything. So, and the Metal Gear in general is very good, and Death Stranding put a lot of effort into the world building. That's one of the only reasons to play that game, because delivering packages for 2 games in a row gets to be really tiresome. It's a huge pain. It's not really about the packages, it's more about how hard it is to get it to the other place, given the way the world reacts to you, and your existence is an existential threat to everything around you, and everything around you is an existential threat to you. Like, that kind of design keeps players enthralled. But when you get to the end, like, you get to the point where you own everything in the game, the 2 things you can do are kill other players or fuck around in a vehicle. Like, that's really all it kind of boils down to. Like, name me something else that people actually play that is meaningful. I mean, and the golf thing in general is kind of frustrating, the way that the ball physics work and stuff. It's really janky. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but after a while you just like, I don't care about this shit. Or playing tennis, I don't care about this shit. Nobody plays tennis, uh, you can go and see the sights, but I've been playing the game for 13 years. I've seen the sights. I know every nook and cranny of the map, pretty much. I don't know it by heart, so that I don't need the GPS, but I mean, like, if you do, that's good for you, pal, but that means you're extra burnt out because you know everything about it. Like, it's over, dude. And the fact that they chose to kick it in the balls on the way out is just fucking amazing to me, that they are always focused on driving profits above all else, and they don't care about the community. And these changes that they've done with the heist and people still begging, hey, I need help getting money when we're almost done. Like, the game's almost done. You know? It's over. People have already pre-ordered the next fucking game. It's over. You're done. If you're not rich by now, you're fucking hopeless. All right? Because it's over, dude. You had 13 years to get prepared to be in retirement state by this point in time, and I'm already retired, and I used glitches to get there, and I was proud of it because I said over and over, like every time I glitched, it was because I said directly to Rockstar that fuck your parent company and fuck you guys. And until you start making pro player decisions, I'm gonna I'm gonna fucking glitch away. And you know, there's a lot of people in the community that think exactly that circumstance. Like, there's plenty of people who vibe with that outlook. My best bud in the world is like, no, fuck Take-Two. We're definitely doing glitches in the GTA 6. I have no intention of not glitching my money. I'm not going to grind that game, is what he says. And I'm like, yeah, see, exactly. That's how a lot of other people think. You know, when you come home to, you know, chillax, the last thing you need to do is treat this like it's another 9 to 5, you know? Nobody wants to do that. So the fact that they, you know, nickel and dime the players and the way you play the game is heavily monetized by force, and making players, you know, lives miserable by making the payouts so fucking asinine that it's not reflective of the actual industry and why people do it in the first place. Like, we see Walter White making 13 mil off of like 20, 30 tubs of the blue stuff, and then you get the same amount in game and you only get 400k. How does that make sense? Make that shit make sense. You know? It shouldn't be this hard, but it's because it's their bottom line. The only way they make money off the game is by selling cash cards, and they haven't changed the prices for 13 years. Even when the actual in-game economy itself is getting affected by the outside economy of the world, they still just kept the same fucking prices. You know, $100 to get 8 million. That it didn't even make sense. That makes it so that, you know, the cars are like $30 a piece. No, dude, we're not paying you that. That's ridiculous. The game's been out for 13 years. We're not paying you that, dude. Sell a game faster. Figure it out, because it's ridiculous to me that we had a couple of DLCs in a row where they were like really pro player. Like, they made as soon as they announced that you could headshot somebody on the chest and it'll still count as like a one shot for, you know, the heavy sniper. Like, they made the heavy sniper better. As soon as they made that change, I was like, oh, this is a godsend. They didn't make the change on console to adjust the zoom-in speed so that's much faster, so that's reflective of how it is on PC, because you can zoom in really fast on PC. You just roll the wheel and bam, you're fully zoomed in. It's like, boom, instantaneous. But on console, because of the speed being so slow, you actually have to like kind of stop moving, or like move your fingers in a weird orientation to try to do it, because they didn't adjust the speed ever after 13 years. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it that on PC I can be fully scoped in and ready to go in half a second, and on console I have to wait 3 to 4 seconds to get fully zoomed in? That gives the enemy plenty of time to kill me first. And a lot of the times that's how it happens. And I think to myself, how the fuck are they doing that on controller? How are they zooming in and killing me faster than it takes me to scope in to even see them at all? Like, why is that happening to me? They have to be using a mouse extension on their console so that they can zoom in faster. Like, there's no other... unless they're using mouse, it's unexplainable why I'm dying so quick. From across the map, from ridiculous angles, you know, these people have to be cheating, because I cannot be expected to have that type of physical, technical skill over the controller. It's so difficult. People are better than me at that. I'll admit that, but it's ridiculous to me that it was happening so frequently. I'm thinking they can't be fully scoped in. The game doesn't give you enough time to do that. So they have to be cheating, because there's no way they're that far away and hitting me like that without scoping first. Like, it doesn't make it. You can't hit a point. You can't hit a scopeless shot from that far. It's impossible. It didn't make any fucking sense at all, and I'm dying to this guy from half a mile away who, in less than a second, before I'm even fully scoped in, it just didn't make any lick of sense. And that happened to me tons and tons of times, and I'm thinking to myself, these people are either using mouse on console, or I'm getting matched with PC players. There's no way he could scope in faster than I can. It physically doesn't let me scope any faster than that. And the fact that they never changed the scope speed has been one of my biggest complaints ever. Because if they did, it would fix so many problems I was having with the way the game works on controller. But even set aside that, like, every business I thought worked well was, like, for instance, the salvage yard. Like, you go tow the 2 cars, and now you're making $250K passive. That was beautiful. I thought that was well done. And then you go and do the robberies. The Tony sub one sucks. I got stuck on that one again, and I was like, I'm not doing that shit again. So it's permanently stuck on that robbery forever now. They never gave you the ability to cancel the robbery, which, blows my fucking career open. Like, I just permanently can't get another high-end car, so I basically only just tow cars. If I'm ever going to play, I just tow 2 cars, and that's it. And the thing runs like clockwork. When they added, RAF and the triple business, the triple business sucks. Let me tell you that. Having all 3 places that you have to clear the heat on is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that, again, they were like, no, we can't let players have another 250K safe. Like, if we let them have a 3rd one, they're going to be making so much money, it's going to be like child's play. And if we do that, then we're surely not going to sell any more cash cards. So that had to have been their main thought process behind what would have otherwise been another S-tier level business, of not having to worry about the heat mechanic and having it, be way more user-friendly and have 250K safe. Like, just doing... and the fact that they had each business had various levels of difficulty to that one mission that clears the heat was even worse. Like, the fact that the smoke on the water is as bad as it is, like, it takes forever. The van's too slow. It's 5 deliveries. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I only have to drive the car once, so I got rid of smoke in the water. I was like, I'm done. I'm never going to touch this place again. Forget Higgins. And I just only do the car wash now, which is how it should have been. I shouldn't have bought the other 2, but only having to worry about cleaning the heat for 1 and then having him give me the passive 100K quick, that is pretty crazy. But if the safe was 250K, I would say it would be hands down the best business in the game. It would be even better than the nightclub if they had let it have a 250K safe. But even still, the agency does, but you have to do an insane amount of grinding to get it there. The arcade's kind of okay, but the fact that you have to pay like $14 million for the arcade machines and you only net 50 to 100K at most off of that property is fucking asinine. That's the kind of decision I'm talking about, where it's just unjustifiable how unreasonable it is. It's like designed to slap you in the face and get you to buy that property so that you waste your money and have to buy cash cards. It's actually an active scam. The arcade, I think, is a huge, huge, huge scam. It's one of the worst businesses in the game by far. The only reason I had it and put so much into it is because I wanted just a little bit more passive income that I wasn't getting somewhere else. But had I had the sense to know that, stuff like the car wash was going to come out, if I had known that, then I probably would have never even touched the arcade, because the heist sucks. It suffers from the same problem that all the heists do, which is way too much effort, way too little payout, way too much time investment. And that's their formula. They make it super big time sink. They make it very risky, so that you lose money on top of the losing time, and so that they can force you to buy their cash cards. That's the formula they like. They like the formula that forces you to make the purchase rather than encourages it through, good customer service. And that's where the industry is. The industry is no longer interested in consumers. It's all about consolidation. It's all about, how can we commit financial crimes. So meanwhile, these corporations that tell us the dogma of, if you do these dupe glitches, that makes you an impure player because you're relying on cheating. Meanwhile, the corporations are literally cheating to keep all of the poor people poor, and committing all these atrocities and war crimes and financial crimes. Why? Doesn't that seem a little bit counterintuitive to you? To have, or a little bit gaslighty? To have, companies doing stuff like that? It's pretty ridiculous, let me tell you. But that's the philosophy of how mega corporations are, and that's what Take-Two loves. That's what Straus Zelnick loves to have sex with. He loves walking into his bedroom at night and seeing a pile full of fucking cash that he can just coom all over. He's like, this is all those players that we've ruined their lives with the Mark II. This is all their money. And so he gets a bunch of college girls to come check out his bedroom, and they're like, wow, this is so cool, you have so much money all over your bed. And he's like, yeah, that I got all that because of the Mark II. I was the one that came up with the Mark II, actually. Did you know that? I don't even develop the game. I'm the CEO of the parent company, but it was actually my idea to include the Mark II. And the reason why I did that is so that I could have this bed covered in money. Do you see that? And they're like, oh my god, let's blow you. Let me just blow you on all your money. And he's like, no. I don't like women. I like having sex with my money. I just brought you here to see it. That was it. But you can go home now. Fuck off. That's what Straus Zelnick does. That's how it is. It's that simple. It's just all about making you miserable so you spend more money. It's not about customer service. It's not about making the player happy and want to come back to keep playing. And that's how it is. GTA sucks. It's penis. GTA is penis. Okay, because it's finished. It's been 13 years. It's done. Okay. They gave you the only reason really to do the heist is so that there's more content to play and it's something new. But once you get through it, you're just like, wow, that was a fucking waste of money and time. Like, just like everything else. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like that's the core fundamental philosophy of criminality in general, is that it's way more effort than it's worth. But maybe it's not. Maybe selling people on Vinted is how to make money these days. Or, human trafficking like the Tate brothers. You name it. But, yeah, that's pretty much my main complaints about the DLC. My major thoughts on the matter is that it's just yet another bunker. It's just yet another arcade. It's just yet another MC. It's just yet another CEO office. All that fucking crap. All that shit. All that piping hot fucking shit. And when Ron calls you on the phone and says, hey, your warehouse is full, we need to move this product, you know what I tell him? I say, eat a fat cock.